Okay, my Aries friends, we are going to do a reading for you for May. Okay? That's how we're going to start. Hope you're having a great day today. I'm having a wonderful day. It's the first time I've had to just sort of kick back and relax a little bit and do some things that I love to do, like read cards. Yay! It's like my pastime. It's what I do a lot of in my spare time. This is something that I do for fun, and I just put out a weekly reading for May 5th, which is today, through the 11th. And if you're interested in checking that out, it's on True Sacred Union. And that is a weekly reading that I'm doing. This is a monthly reading. So we're going to take a look at Aries first. And we are going to find out some information for the month of May for all of you Aries out there. All right. Let's see what the fire sign Aries has going on. And we want to find out what the overall energies are for May. So we're going to just start pulling some cards here. Oh, good. We've got a victory card. That's always a nice way to start. And we also have the letter. And, ooh, the tracks. These are great cards. And it sort of fits the energy of Aries, actually. The main card in this reading is the letter, okay? And the letter has to do with all kinds of communications through, I would say, more official channels, through writing, it's mail, like you're going to receive some mail. This is records, it's news. So whether that's something you're getting or whether it's something you're doing and sending out, I would say this is a big part of your month of May is in communicating and through official channels, not just speaking and meditating and speaking on an esoteric level, but this is in a tangible way. So we want to pair this with the other card that came up, which is the trophy. With these cards, this is the Intuit Oracle. With these cards, we do tend to read them in pairs. And so a lot of times I just will pull the different pairs on either side of the main card. But we'll look at the first one here. Because we're talking about recognition and success, even awards, we're talking about your goals, your ambitions. And the fact that it's right next to the letter means that it has something to do with, the writing that you're doing or the messages that you're getting have to do with success. So I want to say, no matter what that is, whether that's a relationship or whether it's a job, whatever we have going on is really good in terms of the formal communications and with really, really good outcomes. So this is a success card, which is wonderful. And then I love the letter paired with the tracks. Okay? The tracks is about forward movement. Okay? It's about traveling. It's about staying on course, going the distance. And it's basically saying that you're on track. So whatever it is that you're communicating about, whether you're receiving or whether you're sending this official lines of communications, it is definitely moving you forward in whatever it is you're trying to achieve. And then I've got to say that I love these two cards together, which is the the victory card and, well, it's the trophy card actually, and the tracks card, because what it's saying is that, again, whatever it is that you're working on, it's success and it's got a lot of forward movement. So it's likely that the month of May is going to be one that you will be extremely happy with. So that is the overall energy for May. Whoops. Well, I just had cards jump out. Let me see if I can't pick that card back up. All right. So we've got these three cards for the energy of May. Let's talk about the specific information you need to know about love in the month of May, okay? So we are looking for my Aries friends, and we are going to find out what love is in store for you. What specific information do you need to know about love? All right. Okay, we got the Church. All right. We got, oh, the Transformation card. This just came up in my overall energy reading for the week. And let's see, one more card here. Oh, we've got a little bit of storm brewing. Okay, so let's talk about this. We have 3 cards here. The major emphasis in terms of love for May is that we've got a lot of this energy going on because this is the central card. And what this is the catalytic card awakening, and it is transformation. So this is the complete transformation. It is a metamorphosis. And it is, you could think of it as like the death card, but it's mostly about rebirth and transformation. Okay, so that's the main theme of love for May. All right. Now, I want to read the card that came up third, which is the Storm card, because oftentimes it is definitely the storm or things feeling like over and done. I'm so done with this. I'm ready to be free. Storm's been brewing. I've had enough of being torn up. I'm ready for freedom. And we end up with this transformation that takes place. Interestingly enough, the card that came up first is about religion, principle, and traditional things. Okay, like marriage being the traditional dogma religious aspect of marriage. Now, it also does have to do with collective consciousness, so it's very likely that the collective is going through this together. This transformation, we all know it's been there. Maybe some of the more religious dogma, family values, and marriage, that information is starting to become transformed. It's starting to, move into the renewal phase, and it might just be that it's taken some storms, right? Some storms or some things that are really, I want to say, just whipping things up into a frenzy, could mean that there's some endings coming in relationships that are based only on tradition and not based on the higher principle of catalytic heart awakening and transformation. In other words, these relationships that are based on this are not going to have the same staying power because we've literally come to transform. So that dogma religious aspect is really not going to have the same staying power. And a lot of times what ends up happening is that storms brew. And that's how we have endings, right? We get fed up. We're over and done with it. We're ready to be liberated. And things can happen very unexpectedly that we don't see coming, that can literally free us up from that, I want to say, the stuckness in those old traditions. So whether that's you or whether that's your love interest, this is happening, and this is what do you need to know about love in May. So this is pretty much a general reading, for all of the Aries people. So this is some of the stuff that you're going to want to look for. Let's put these cards up here. And we're going to look right now at what do you want to know about career and abundance for May? What specific information do you need from your higher self and source about your career and your abundance? Okay. We got the bridge. Oh, we got the mask. This is an interesting card. I always like getting the mask. Let's see how it fits into this information I'm receiving. Okay. Well, geez, we got another communication card in Mercury. Okay. Wow. So we got a really strong Mercury communication thing going on here. I am going to focus on the center card as the central focus of this question. What's the specific information you need to know about career and abundance for May? In your work or creative expression, you may be dealing with someone who is not being entirely honest with you. They might be, I want to use the words that are right on the card. There's some ulterior motives maybe being at play there. Um, I don't feel that this energy is actually intentional. I'm picking up my own vibrations of this. I think that, people that we work with and people that, the two, I want to say the polarization, we've got the ego and we've got the higher self. And sometimes there's a delicate balance going on between the two. So the person that you're dealing with might, be pretending that they're really comfortable in what they're doing, or they might have their ego involved just a little bit and have a few ulterior motives. But the important thing when this card comes up is that you're just aware that people have those times when they're more duality oriented, more duality based than others. So it's just a word of caution in terms of just be aware that this could be going on. Now, the information that comes up that helps you with that is you want to bridge, okay? Which means if you're finding that there's someone that you're working with that you don't feel is being completely upfront with you, or you sense that energy, that something duality oriented is going on, the key is the communication here, okay? The integration, the connection, and overcoming those barriers, maybe just by understanding that person. Maybe understand that the reason why they're in that place is simply because they actually have patterns that they're working through right now that they don't feel like they can be completely honest. They can't really show up in their complete honesty, because if they do, they're in a work situation with you. So communication is a really good thing to help with this. But then we got another communication, right? With Mercury. So Mercury is expression again. It's dealing with ideas, all types of communications. So, if you embody some of these qualities of, I want to say, curious is probably the most important. Being curious about, what is going on with this person that you're having some issues with. What is going on with them, and communicate with them for better outcomes. Because it's really easy for someone to take off their mask when they know that they're being understood and that the other people involved or other person involved really wants to have a good outcome, and gives them some leeway to be in this ego position. We're all in an ego position. I know I am. I definitely go through my periods where I'm like, oh, Debbie, check that ego. We all go through it. So we can be understanding of other people when they go through it too. And, if in this case, if this, check this, if you're not having someone else, check yourself. Are you in an ego place? Are you not feeling like you can be transparent with where you're at? And that will give you some information on that. Okay, finally, we are going to ask higher self what higher self wants you to know for this coming month. What's the most important theme of this coming month for you, Aries? We will say, communication. So communication shows up again in general. And it's funny because this is also communicating in a variety of ways. Talking, discussing, texts. This is a little bit more, I want to say this is a little bit more verbal in terms of communications. But let's see what else we pair it with. Okay, so we've got the crow. And the crow is interesting because the crow is a little bit on the mysterious side. And the crow has, some things that they know about the situation. So let's let's just look at these two cards together in just a second. All right. And this is the other thing, the moose. All right, let me pull these cards together. We've got two spirit animal cards combined with another, this is a spirit animal card too. We got three spirit animals, guys. Okay, so let's look at the message that we're getting. Okay. The moose is very independent. And the moose is sort of like your time alone, your time of being in a powerfully independent position. It's time alone, but we also are balancing that with the need to communicate. So I want to say that in our communication, our memory keeper, the crow, which is, I want to say in this case, it's us, the Aries, not me. I'm a Sagittarius, but I'm tuning into the energy of Aries right now, okay? So the Aries energy, we're looking at the very mysterious, tricky energy of the crow, which needs to balance the very powerful, independent time alone, where you're protecting your space and being strong and having imposing energy, with the need to communicate and make contact with people, talk, discuss, So we've got to balance the two things. And the crow knows how to do that. The crow is quite cunning at being able to do both at once. But it's really, really important that you do balance that, because if you're talking about the work situation that we went over, our communication, even when you communicate, you want to be sure that you're communicating in a very clever, well thought out way. Okay? And you want to be protecting your own, not protecting, I don't like that word. You want to be staying in your own power, in your own space, without giving your energy away. And I think that's more the moose, the powerfully independent protection. It's not really protection as much as it's insulating yourself from being influenced by this person, because this might be this person's situation altogether. It's influence, it's affecting you, but it's not really like influencing you. And you'd have more progress with the communication here. So that's what this communication here, is a little bit like, keep a good balance between that. So much communication here. We've got the letter, we got the birds, we got the bridge. So this month is going to be a lot about communicating, guys. You Aries are going to be doing a lot of this, overcoming barriers. And if you're dealing with the love situation where there's some stormy stuff going on, I would say that's a good place to use the communications as well, isn't it? Communications is really going to help you out in all of these different areas. I would like to continue to draw attention to two of my favorite cards here in your reading, which is the Victory card, Trophy, and the Tracks. So you're going to definitely have some very big, fast forward movement, and you really want to stay on the tracks. You really want to keep going the distance. You're on a one-way track to success, and I think that pretty much is a great note to end on. And I hope that you have an incredible May, Aries.